It's the biggest plane I've ever seen, Uncle Brad.
It's not a plane, Joe. It's an OGT, Orbital Glide Transport, the world's most advanced concept in aerospace passenger transportation. When it goes into service, it'll carry 500 passengers, halfway around the world in 50 minutes. Take off to touchdown.
That's fantastic, Uncle Brad.
Fueling complete. Motors 1 to 12.
Cabin temperature normal, pressure normal.
Gyros set on course.
There are, of course, other countries developing an orbital glide transport, Brad.
One other country, about a year behind us in development.
Friendly rivalry?
And we have our doubts. We seem to have been having more than our fair share of trouble on ground tests. Blast off minus 30.
Is recheck complete on number 5 monitor?
5 monitor A-OK, Doctor.
Any moment now, Joe.
Who's your flight controller, Brad?
A young guy named Dr. Slade.
Is he good?
The best.
Blast wall into position.
I take it you operate a standard screening procedure for all personnel.
Before each ground test, we checked and double-checked every man on the project.
And came up with nothing?
No. So this time we've gone further and installed a secret computer in the launch control building. Slade knows about the computer, but even he doesn't know where it is. If something does go wrong, we'll know immediately whether it's a design fault or sabotage. And the computer can pinpoint who in launch control is responsible.
Check automatic pilot sequence.
Maintained green.
Check secondary automatic system. Secondary automatics, all green. Roger.
Well, here's luck to you, Brad.
Thanks, Mac. I guess I'll soon know whether luck's on my side.
And if it isn't?
At least I'll know who's been tipping the scales. Our computer will tell us that. Minus 10, minus 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off.
Release all umbilicals.
Go on. Go on.
She's moving, Uncle Brad.
But not fast enough, Joe. Slade, close down all motors.
Say again?
An all motor shutdown, Slade, now.
Series 1 to 4 motors closed down. Malfunction on 5, Doctor. Can't shut out.
Emergency clamps into position. Signal red alert, all stations. Red alert.
Slade. Slade, are you all right?
Yes. Well, okay.
Emergency evacuation procedure. Get your men into the ejection capsule immediately.
Will the launch team be able to get out, Dad?
As long as the rocket doesn't ignite. If that happens, the launch control building becomes one huge concrete oven.
Hurry, Doctor.
Don't wait for me. I'll take the reserve escape capsule.
If that lot comes down, you'll be sealed in here.
It's a risk I have to take. It's my responsibility to salvage launch data. Fire the capsule!
Dr. Slade, are you receiving me? Come in, Dr. Slade. Oh, it's no good, Mac. No answer. Why didn't he use the reserve escape capsule?
He could be trapped in the rubble.
Well, a rescue drill is on its way, but it only has a 14-inch bore. Slade will never get through that.
Which means we can't recover the concealed monitoring equipment.
Right. And without it, we shall never know whether it's a design fault or sabotage. We need outside help, Mac.
Well, that's the situation, Mr. Weston.
World Intelligence is not a rescue outfit.
We know that, Chief, but we can't wait for a larger drill to be brought in. And there are intelligence aspects involved, the computer findings. If we don't get to that, this country's lead in the OGC race goes out the window. We'll never know if that crash was sabotage.
We can raise a bigger drill by tomorrow, but until then, we can only cut a 14-inch bore.
No man would be able to slide down a 14-inch bore.
But a boy could, Mr. Weston.
Exactly.
It's a tough one. That aircraft could slip at any time, causing a spark which would ignite the fuel. And if that happens, Slade and his rescuer wouldn't stand a chance.
Nor would Brad Johnson's concealed computer. The heat'd destroy all the data in the crash.
And 5 years design and development on the OGC would be lost.
Even if we did use Joe, we need to transfer the brain pattern of a computer expert. And if Slade is trapped by a rockfall, we need a computer expert with a difference. One who also knows how to use explosives. The combination doesn't exist.
No problem.
Uncle Brad worked behind enemy lines during the last war.
As a demolition expert.
You mean we could give Joe Brad Johnson's brain pattern?
Why not? Can you think of a better man for the job?
Let me speak to the chief mining engineer.
So far, right on schedule, Mr. Johnson. We'll be ready to start drilling in about half an hour.
I don't know who called in World Intelligence, Mr. Louver, but I'm glad you're here. It's the best thing that's happened in a very bad day.
WIN will get Slade and the computer out of there, Mr. Johnson. But there's one condition. Once that drill has done its job, I want the whole area cleared.
Have you got it, Dad?
On beam now.
I'll personally supervise a maximum security clampdown.
I'm afraid it'll have to include you too, Mr. Johnson.
But surely I can help.
Oh, you'll be helping, Mr. Johnson. We can promise you that.
That's it, Joe. A perfect recording of Brad Johnson's brain pattern.
Okay, Dad. I'll get into the big rat.
I don't like the look of this wind, Mr. Johnson.
It could get worse. We've already received a storm warning for this area. Let's go over the security arrangements again.
Roger.
On completion of drilling, all engineers to be removed from base area. Each man to be checked clear.
Personally by the base security officer. What's it all about, Mr. Johnson?
They're my orders too, Chief. We're completely in the dark here. All we know is that we've been assigned a special man for the job.
Transfer's complete.
Fine, Dad.
I've got your glasses, Joe. Now, let's get Dr. Slade. And that computer.
Come in, Dr. Slade. This is Brad Johnson. Do you read me? Come in, Dr. Slade. Come in, Dr. Slade. Do you read me? Come in, Dr. Slade.
Not until I've found that computer.
Come in, Dr. Slade. Come in, Dr. Slade.
Still no luck?
No, nothing. I'm afraid we'll have to assume the worst.
Unless his radio equipment's smashed.
Well, that's highly unlikely. There are at least 6 separate radio links in launch control. They can't all have been put out of operation.
Come in, Dr. Slade. This is Brad Johnson. Do you read me?
Okay. Thanks a lot, Chief.
Mining team?
They've just broken through. The problem's all yours now, Sam. But for the life of me, I can't see how you're going to handle it.
Leave it to us, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, Sam. Now, you know where the computer's located. In 10 minutes, the area will be cleared. I only hope you can put a guy down there who'll understand my programming.
Don't worry, Mr. Johnson. We plan to use someone who'll understand it as well as you would yourself.
Hold it. Are your glasses all right, Joe?
Yes, Mac.
As soon as you get down, establish radio contact.
Okay, Mac. Ready when you are.
Okay, Sam.
Weather forecast can hardly be worse, Mac. Electric storms approaching the vicinity. Be here any time now.
Touchdown, Mac.
Well done, Joe. Any sign of Dr. Slade?
Not so far, Mac. I'll take a look around. Dr. Slade! Dr. Slade!
She could go any minute, Mac.
With all this fuel about, lightning is the last thing we need. Joe, have you located Dr. Slade yet?
Look, I know this sounds crazy, Mac, but there's no sign of him.
I don't get it, Sam.
It looks as if Brad Johnson was right.
Joe, Dr. Slade must be trapped under the debris.
I don't see any other answer, Mac.
Okay then, Joe. Find the computer readouts. And get back up here as soon as you can.
That was close.
Hurry it up, Joe. Time's running out.
Collecting the readouts now, Mac.
Hold it there.
Dr. Slade,
Come in. What's a kid doing down here?
I'm a WIN agent. Part of my job was to rescue you. I see now I shouldn't have bothered.
I never could stand smart kids. Now keep your hands off that microphone. Put it on the table with the readouts.
What happens now?
First, we arrange a little accident for you. Then I destroy the computer findings convincingly. Then sit back and wait to be rescued.
One thing puzzles me. You knew about the computer, so why go ahead with the sabotage when you were certain to be found out?
This was the test flight. I had to ensure it ended in failure. I gambled on finding the computer in the confusion. And now, you've found it for me.
You hear that? Do you know what it is?
Part of the OGT wreck, I presume.
Not part of it. The whole aircraft is balanced on the edge of this building.
What?
If it slips, the explosion would make this room hotter than a brick kiln.
Who says it's going to fall?
An electric storms forecast. What we heard up there is probably the beginning of it. That means 2 chances of trouble. Either the wind tips the OGT over the edge, or lightning ignites the rocket fuel.
You are a clever child, but I don't buy that story.
Why not?
Because you came down here to rescue me. My guess is you planned for us to wait until a bigger drill was brought up in the morning.
A poor guess, Slade. The plan was to blow the roof fall clear of the escape vent and to use one of the ejection capsules to get clear.
You mean they were entrusting a tricky demolition job to you? What do you know about explosions?
I know that 808 plastic is one of the most flexible means ever invented of generating precise amounts of explosive energy. In the right hands, it can crack an egg without breaking the yolk.
You don't talk like a kid.
You're in a jam, Slade, and you know it. You need me to blow a way clear to the escape vent.
Don't think we're making a deal, Sonny. Not when I hold the ace of trumps. Get to work. Fix those charges.
I wonder what's keeping him.
Johnson said the computer was easy enough to locate once you knew where to look.
I'll call him up. Joe, are you receiving?
Come in, Joe.
Don't answer it.
No answer. Don't like it, sir. I don't like it at all.
Blast rebounds off flat surfaces in the same manner as reflected light. I'd move from there if I were you, Slade.
You think I can't see what you're up to? Get me in an exposed position and let the blast finish me. I'm staying put. Press that plunger.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Explosion!
No doubt about it.
Try the radio again.
Joe? Come in, Joe.
Joe,
Are you receiving me?
Loud and clear, Mac.
Joe, what's happening down there?
A spot of trouble. I found Dr. Slade. Tell you about it when I get out of here.
Make it quick, Joe.
It can't hold much longer, Mac.
Hurry, Joe! Hurry! It'll go any minute.
You and Sam get clear. I'm just getting Slade into the capsule.
Joe's right, Mac.
Sure, sure.
Come on, then. Look, I know how you feel, Mac, with Joe down there, but there's nothing you can do to help.
Sam, you bring the car up. I'll be ready when you get here.
Ready to eject, Mac, as soon as you're clear.
Eject, Joe! Eject!
Slade was the traitor. I worked with him for 10 years. I can still hardly believe it.
I know how you feel, Johnson, but the main thing is you're satisfied there's no basic design fault in the OGT.
Entirely satisfied.
So the mystery's solved.
Well, that mystery's solved. But a whole lot of others have opened up.
What do you mean, Uncle Brad?
Well, Joe, such as how Wynn managed to find someone who could handle the computer side and knew enough about explosives to blast clear the ejection vent and was able to get down a 14-inch shaft.
Didn't Slade give you any clues?
I didn't say a thing that made any sense. It was something about a boy.
A boy?
Well, we can call on operators of all shapes and sizes, Mr. Johnson. Take young Joe here, for example.
Very good, Mr. Looper. Very good.
It could be true, Uncle Brad. You know, I don't wear this badge for nothing.
Your drink, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you. Could you bring me some ice?
Of course, sir. Monsieur le Président.
There is no possible doubt. This dart we found in the president's neck is from an Amaztec blowpipe. The poison on the tip induces total paralysis with a permanent effect.
4 world leaders struck down within 24 hours. And all in the same way.
Have the medical teams come up with anything, Sam?
No, the paralysis is total, both physical and mental. They're like human cabbages.
This is incredible. And you say, Dr. Aston, the Amaztecs were wiped out 300 years ago?
That's right, by the Spaniards under Cortes.
Doctor, you're an acknowledged authority on the Amaztec civilization. I want you to tell us everything about them you think is relevant to the present situation.
Well, the Amaztecs were a tribe of South American Indians, a highly educated, gentle people. They had 2 gods. One good, Quetzalcoatl, and one evil, Huitzilopochtli. In time, the gods fought. Evil won, and the Amaztecs were forced to obey him. Where they were once gentle, they became cruel. They made human sacrifices and invented a secret poison. They also had an antidote for it, something that would cancel out the effect.
An antidote? That's what we need now. How do we find this lost civilization?
Well, several expeditions have located and examined ruined Amaztec temples, and there are still a few Indians in the area, scattered in tiny groups in the jungle. My guess is that someone has gathered them together and revived the old culture at one of these temples.
But how would he do it?
He could convince the Indians he was the sun god, Quetzalcoatl, or Huitzilopochtli, the god of darkness. It could even be a child, a young boy.
A boy?
Yes. The Amaztecs believed that children were sacred and must not be harmed.
That's very interesting. Sam, I think you ought to contact Professor McLean, just for the record. The record, Sam.
Gotcha, Chief. I'll phone him right away.
Please go on, Doctor.
Well, I've been on several expeditions to the area myself.
Professor McLean here.
It's Sam, Mac.
Oh, hello, Sam.
Listen, Mac, we'd like you to record a brain pattern.
All right. When?
Right away. The subject's in Shane Weston's office now.
Okay, Sam, I'll get down to the laboratory.
Thanks, Mac. I'll explain it all later.
Yes, I've heard that all before. Bye, Sam.
Was it important, Dad?
Yeah. Come on, Joe. We've got work to do.
The Amaztecs were driven to the foothills of the Andes. This once great civilization crumbled in a few years. One of the great mysteries is that although they were so culturally advanced, they had no knowledge of one of the fundamental inventions of the rest of the world, the wheel. It is an unexplained and tragic fact. Well, to return to the problem in hand.
It would certainly be a most dangerous undertaking to try and find that lost tribe and the antidote.
Is the recording finished, Dad?
Yes, Joe. I think we've been running long enough. Well, I wonder what this is all about.
Well, gentlemen, incredible as it may seem, somewhere in the Amazon jungle there must be a lost tribe of Amaztecs. And somehow the poison they perfected centuries ago is being smuggled out into our world and used.
Well, thank you, Dr. Aston. You've been most helpful. My chauffeur will take you home.
Thank you. If there's anything else, please do not hesitate to call me. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Doctor. What do you make of it, Chief?
I don't like it, Sam. 4 of the world's leading statesmen seem to be in the hands of a ghost from the past.
Oh, great God, I offer you the poison of Huitzilopochtli.
Leave it on the altar. The work of the Lord of Evil will be continued.
Well, Joe, you now have the brain pattern of Dr. Aston. An aerial reconnaissance of the area has established signs of activity at one of the ruined temples near the foothills of the Andes.
It may be an idea to parachute me in there, Sam. That should produce the greatest impression on the Indians.
Good idea, Joe. I'll arrange it.
Fine. Anything else, Sam?
Yeah, one other thing. We've kept this classified information for security reasons. We know why the 4 world leaders have been struck down. Money. We've been offered a supply of the antidote if we pay 10 million pounds into a Swiss bank account.
You mean they're being kept in a coma for ransom? Have we any idea who's behind this?
We don't know. But it looks like a big organization. They're clever and ruthless. It amounts to kidnapping by remote control. The victim stays in a coma until the money's paid.
Or until I get the antidote. When do we leave?
We fly to Quito, Ecuador tonight. And from there to the temple. Candy, Joe?
Thanks. Oh,
What's wrong, Joe?
those inoculations I had. My arm hurts.
Don't worry, son. Your arm will be better by tomorrow.
What is the meaning of this talk to? Why do you come to the temple without being summoned? Do you defy the high priest of Huitzilopochtli?
No, Lord. I came to make an offering to the sun god. Our people suffer greatly under the rule of darkness.
You dare to defile the altar with an offering to Quetzalcoatl. Go, before the wrath of the god of evil descends on you and all the people.
Better put on your glasses, Joe. We're near the dropping zone.
Okay, Dad.
You should land around here. About 15 miles from the temple.
I'd like to be nearer, Sam. Say 5 miles. Around here.
Okay, Joe. You're the boss.
Ready, Joe?
Ready?
Remember, Joe, we'll be standing by at the airstrip. Call us in if you need help.
Good luck, son. All right, away you go.
Look! Can it be that the sun god comes to deliver us from the hand of evil? Let his arrival be announced.
Joe 90 to Sam Louver.
Loud and clear, Joe.
I've landed safely, Sam.
How does it look?
There's no one around. I'll just sit tight and wait for them to find me.
God of darkness, Huitzilopochtli. God of darkness.
Who calls the high priest of evil?
Ataka, Lord. I come to tell you of the man-god who dropped from the sky.
Where is this impostor?
Towards the sunrise, in the forest.
Huitzilopochtli knows of his presence, and he commands you through me to seek him out and destroy him.
Yes, God of darkness.
Tonight, when the sun goes down, find him. Destroy him. Destroy him.
It's been 7 hours now, Sam.
I can't understand it, Joe. They should have found you by now.
I know, Sam, but I've got a feeling they're not too far away.
Take him At dawn, we will offer this intruder to Huitzilopochtli at the temple. He will be destroyed. O great Lord of Darkness, Huitzilopochtli.
You have done well, Ataka. I will accept this sacrifice. Destroy him!
No! Do you defy the law by killing a child?
He must be sacrificed. It is the will of evil.
Even a god must obey the law. This child is sacred.
I am the law, and I say he dies.
In the name of Quetzalcoatl, I asked for the right of trial by entombment.
See, he speaks our tongue. I saw him drop from the sky. I believe he is the child of the sun god.
I too saw him drop from the sun.
Silence! What is this trial by entombment?
It is to test the validity of a child of the sun god.
Has anyone survived this test?
No, Lord. Many have tried, but all have perished.
So be it. Take him to the mountain.
Joe 90 to base. Come in, please.
Hello, Joe. Where are you?
Entombed in a mountain.
Entombed? Joe, what's happened?
These people have half convinced themselves I'm the child of the sun god. But the first problem is to get out of here.
Can we be of any assistance, Joe?
No, Sam. I've got to do this unaided. The Amaztec used these tombs as a trial, but it's always very difficult to find the way out. I'm going to take a look around. We'll contact you later. Out.
Rockel, why do you stare at the mountain?
I pray to Quetzalcoatl for the child.
Your prayers will not help. He will perish in the tomb.
Joe 90 to Sam Louver.
Go ahead, Joe.
There's an underground channel leading off from the main passageway. Cut by floodwater.
Is it big enough to get through, Joe?
I think so, Sam. Anyway, I'm going to try it.
How long has Joe been down there now, Sam?
A little over an hour, Mac.
Well, there's still nothing we can do except wait.
Yeah.
Starting to rain. Rain, Sam!
Joe, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Sam.
Listen, Joe, it started to rain. That channel could become a raging torrent in minutes.
I know, Sam. I didn't want to worry you, but the level's been rising for the last 5 minutes. And I'm beginning to feel pretty tired.
We're coming in to get you out, Joe.
No, Sam. I've got to do this alone.
Joe? Joe! Come in, Joe. Answer me, Joe 90.
It's okay, Sam. I'm out. I'm going to the temple. That's where the antidote must be.
Proctor,
Yes, Lord.
you have defied the evil god Huitzilopochtli.
I cry for my people under the rule of darkness.
As high priest, I banish you to the land beyond the mountains. If you return, you will suffer a traitor's death. Now go. I said go.
It is a miracle. Look! The child of the sun god lives!
All right. Come out with your hands up. You don't scare me with your hidden speakers and lights.
Who are you?
Joe 90, World Intelligence.
A kid from World Intelligence?
I want that antidote. There is no escape. The game's over.
Surrender to a kid. You must be out of your mind.
Well, one shot of the antidote and the 4 world leaders recovered immediately.
Yes, Chief, it's an amazing product. They claim they never felt better in their lives, and there may soon be scientific evidence to back it up.
Yeah, I know how they feel. Sometimes I wish I could go into a coma and wake up invigorated a couple of weeks later. Don't point that thing, Joe.
And because of the evidence you found in the temple, Joe, WIN were able to arrest the whole organization.
Right, Professor. It was a clean sweep. Joe, what are you doing? Joe, that thing isn't loaded. Listen, I was only kidding about that coma. Joe, yeah, do something, Sam.
Come in, Cope. Shut the door behind you.
Is anything wrong?
Why isn't the cargo aboard? It was supposed to have been loaded last night.
We got all the perishable foodstuff loaded. There's still plenty of time to load the rest.
Plenty of time? We sail in 18 hours, man. Get that stuff aboard.
Yes, Sir George.
And Cope, I don't want any slip-up. We're going for the transatlantic record.
First time out?
First time out. Well, don't just stand there.
All right, speed it up. I want all these crates aboard as soon as possible. Is everything all right, Professor McLean?
Yes, Mr. Cope. I've checked the over-horizon radar. It's in perfect order.
We appreciate your expert advice, Professor. What do you think of the hover liner, Joe?
It's great. Is she ready for her maiden voyage?
She's ready. First chance I get, Joe, I'll arrange a short trip for you.
Yes,
Sir George,
speaking.
just listen carefully, Sir George.
Who's that?
I said listen. I want to warn you, Sir George. I want to give you a sporting chance.
Warn me? Of what?
A bomb. A bomb with an instant trigger detonator.
A bomb? On the hover liner? Is this a practical joke?
It's no hoax. You see, I made it.
Who is this? Who is this? Yes, it's probably a hoax, but I want everyone off that ship, fast.
A bomb scare, Professor. We're clearing the ship.
Come and look, Mr. Cope. There's something happening down there.
They've found it.
Clear the area. Get everyone back.
I think we ought to postpone the maiden voyage.
No. This project was sponsored by the British and American governments. Our job is to show the world an outstanding example of international cooperation. And that's exactly what we're going to do. SS Friendship sails at first light tomorrow morning.
If those crates had been aboard, there wouldn't be a hover liner.
But they weren't. The ship isn't damaged and a security cordon has been thrown around it. Every person and every ounce of baggage will be checked and double-checked before it's allowed aboard.
I think we should call in outside help.
No, we'll handle this ourselves. Nothing must go wrong. Nothing will go wrong.
Possible. We're dealing with something more than a simple-minded crank. That was a very intricate bomb.
Oh, you were right to tell us, Professor. And the fact that 100 VIPs from both countries will be on board means WIN must get involved.
Sir George Harris won't be pleased, but personally, I'm relieved to hear it.
How'll we handle it, Chief?
Well, first of all, I'll get myself on that trip to New York.
Yeah, but what are my instructions?
Start a full-scale investigation. Get down to the dockyard as soon as you can. Play it by ear. Take any action you think is necessary. And fit a recording device to Harris's phone.
Is there anything I can do, Mr. Weston?
Well, not right now, Joe. But I'd like you and the professor to stay around. Well, see you in 3 days.
I hope everything goes well, Mr. Weston.
We're here to make sure it does, Joe. Goodbye, Professor.
Have a good trip. You just made it, Sam.
And just to wish you bon voyage, Chief. And tell you that Sir George isn't that happy about our involvement.
We expected that. Are the phones taken care of, Sam?
Yes, Chief. If Harris receives another threat, we'll have a recording.
Good. Well, I think I'll get on board. Professor, you and Joe get back to the cottage, just in case anything breaks.
Right, Mr. Weston.
And I've got a meeting with Harris.
I don't know who called WIN in, Mr. Luber, but I resent the fact that they were.
Well, it's no secret you've had trouble on this project. We're only here to help.
All right, we've had our difficulties. But I can assure you, if you're thinking in terms of another bomb, forget it.
I wish I was on board with Mr. Weston, Dad.
I expect you to, Joe.
How fast can she go, Dad?
Oh, it's only taxiing now. When they open her up, she'll touch 60 knots.
60 knots? That's fantastic.
Taxiing completed, Captain. Main acceleration position taken.
Articulate countdown.
Countdown stands at minute 16, 15.
Full fuel or starter motors. With your permission, Mr. Weston, I'll take my ship out to sea.
You're in command, Captain. I'm simply here in case of emergency.
Then what's supposed to happen? You take charge?
That, Captain, depends on the type of emergency.
I see.
Permission unnecessary, Captain, but granted.
Prepare to open fuel valves. Synchronize feed with countdown.
8, fuel injection synchronized. 7, 6, 5, 2, 1.
We've checked everything, but still no lead on the guy who made that phone call.
The Friendship is safely out to sea by now.
If there is a second bomb, wouldn't it have to be on board already?
I can't see how it could have got there, Joe. Everything was treble checked into the hold. VIP's luggage included.
Mr. Luver,
Ah, that could be the chief calling. Sam Luver here.
message from WINHQ London. Message reads, second threat received by Sir George Harris. Message ends.
Does that mean there's another bomb?
Looks like it, Joe. You'd better let Shane Weston know, Sam.
Listen, Sam, you've got a recording of the phone call. Now, I want you to use the voice apparatus at the laboratory. For that, you'll need a voice print of everybody who works at the shipyard, including anyone who left recently or was dismissed, right?
Okay, Chief. That might get us the caller, but it still leaves us the problem of the bomb.
Sam, if there is a bomb on board, we need help. We can only get it from the man who made that phone call. Get to work.
Right, Chief. Out. Let's get to WINHQ.
All right, Weston. What do you propose?
Turn the ship back.
It's too late. We're in mid-Atlantic.
Evacuate all passengers.
In normal service, a hoverliner is virtually unsinkable, Weston. There's no need for life rafts.
Until you hit this sort of emergency.
The call must have been a hoax. Nobody could have smuggled a bomb past the security checks.
You're taking quite a risk, Captain.
Listen, Weston. There are times when a man has to take risks.
Even if it involves other people's lives?
Certainly.
You're right, Captain. I guess this is one of them. Turn this ship around. I mean it.
Just another warning, Sir George. To give you that sporting chance. You have from now until 6:30 tomorrow morning.
How does it work, Dad?
Very simple. A voice print is as individual as a fingerprint. The different cadences and rhythms form patterns which are never repeated in other voices.
You feed in the voice, Joe, you're trying to identify.
Then check it against the voices of the shipyard employees.
Just another warning, Sir George. To give you that sporting. Just another warning, Sir George.
And I think maybe we've turned something up.
Here's your man, Mr. Louver. Personal document 7903E, recorded by Principal Officer Johnston Webb.
Johnston Webb. Webb, W.
It didn't sound like the same man, Dad.
He obviously tried to disguise his voice, Joe. But it's just not possible to alter your voice print. Ah, Webb. Here's his card.
What does it say?
Everything fits. He was dismissed from the company for gross malpractice, channeling company money into his own pocket.
So he could be holding a grudge.
What was his job, Dad?
He worked in the propellant and thrust department.
Propellant and thrust. Aren't they just fancy names for explosives?
Close enough, Sam.
Okay, we'll find him, Mac. You and Joe better get back to the cottage. This could be a job for Joe 90.
If you're wrong about that bomb, Weston.
Captain, you just don't know how much I'm hoping I am wrong.
I understand, Sam. Out. Come on, Joe. Let's get down to the laboratory. They've found Johnston Webb.
Just another warning, Sir George. To give you that sporting chance.
Come off it, Louver. It doesn't even sound like me.
It doesn't have to sound like you. Okay, Webb, why don't you admit it? You made the calls.
Try proving it in court.
Ever heard of something called a voice print?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't you? Where's that bomb, Webb?
I've got nothing more to say.
You don't need to say anymore.
I think you better go, Louver.
Sure, Webb. I think I've got all I came for. But you won't be going anywhere. The police are waiting outside.
Well, Joe, you now have the brain pattern of Johnston Webb. Is there a bomb on board the Friendship?
Yes.
Where is it? How is it smuggled aboard?
It wasn't. It was taken aboard quite openly. Concealed in the presentation model of SS Friendship.
Get everyone below deck and keep them there.
And how am I supposed to do that?
Tell them it's a fire drill or something. Just do it.
How do you plan to tackle the trigger mechanism, Joe?
It's a tough one, Sam. There are two separate detonators.
And how do you handle the second detonator?
You can't.
You serious, Joe?
Absolutely. The second detonator is set to explode only 10 seconds after the primary detonator is defused.
Can we radio Shane Weston to throw it overboard?
No. The moment that model's moved from its mounting, it'll go up.
Sounds quite a trigger device.
That's only part of it.
There she is, to starboard.
Not a soul on deck, Mac.
Shane Weston's arranged for all the passengers to be confined to their quarters during the operation. Told them it was a routine fire drill.
Good. Time check.
06:18 hours.
Giving 12 minutes to impact time at 06:30. I'll get into the harness.
Come on, Joe. Good work, Joe. How long have we got?
8 minutes as of now, and every second's going to count. Even knowing the combination, the instant trigger device is no pushover.
I apologize, Weston. I was wrong.
Don't worry about that now. Just keep this ship steady.
Stand by, Mac. So far, so good.
Fine. But hurry, Joe. Be careful.
That's what we're after. The red and white tube.
The detonator?
The primary detonator. The moment I remove that, we've got 10 seconds.
Understood. And in any case, the whole lot's set to go up at 6:30. Minus 5 minutes, Joe.
6, 1, 8, 0, 5, 9.
Joe, it must be time for your father to do his bit.
Take it easy, Sam. Hello, Mac. Ready for you in 1 minute 40.
You're cutting it fine.
No choice, Mac.
Okay, Joe. You're the expert. Preparing approach now.
Okay, ready to remove detonator. Remember, this is a one-shot try, Mac. No second chances.
I know, Joe.
Here goes, then. All yours, Mac. 10 seconds. Eight, 7, 3. Let go, Mac. Jettison.
Well, that's it, Chief.
Yes, thanks to Joe.
And Mac, how's he doing, by the way?
Oh, he's hovering about somewhere. Hovering, you get hovering, get it? You know where?
I don't read you, Chief.
Hovering, you know, we're all in a hovercraft and.
Chief.
Oh, Mr. Weston.
General Valdez has served our country for the past 10 years. A vote for Valdez is a vote for continuing prosperity.
Thank you. Valdez, 104,268. Cordova, 178,426.
The people wait like sheep for the result.
They have waited 10 years, General Valdez. A few more minutes will not try their patience.
Your husband has not won yet, Senora Cordova.
But he will. He is something you can never be, General.
What is that?
A man of the people.
Yes, Limura province. We are ready for your vote.
The result from Limura.
Yes, I have that. General Valdez, 2,280,140. And for Juan Cordova, 6,481,207.
Wonderful. It gives you a majority. You've won. You are the new president. Listen, the people have heard the result. You must go out onto the balcony and speak to them.
You're right, my dear. I see you are going to show yourself to the people.
It is the custom for the president-elect.
There are still millions of votes to be counted. However, I concede victory and offer my congratulations.
Only because you know you have already lost. This was one election you could not rig.
Do not be unkind, my dear. I accept, but thank you for your congratulations, General.
I stand before you today filled with pride, but also humility. Pride because you, the people, have elected me to serve as your president. And humility because I realize the heavy responsibility it places on my shoulders. In my election campaign, I made you promises to rid our government of corruption and vice, to break down the barriers of dictatorship, and to bring to justice all those whose greed and immorality have made them rich and powerful at your expense. I have the evidence, and you have given me the opportunity to keep my promises.
Juan.
I'm all right.
You could have been.
It's all right. I'm fine.
It seems I must congratulate you once more, Cordova. That was nearly a nasty accident.
Accident?
What else, Senora?
It was not an accident. Valdez and his followers will stop at nothing to prevent you exposing them.
Although the general denied the right of being innocent until proven guilty to others, I will extend it to him.
Then you must take precautions. A bodyguard. The special branch of the police could supply the men.
Men? Are you suggesting I should travel around with a private army?
Just two.
No.
One, then. For me.
Not even for you. I am a man of the people, elected by a democratic votes. I have nothing to fear. My mind is made up. There is nothing you can do.
Number, please.
Get me World Intelligence Network.
Well, that's the assignment. We've been asked to ensure the safety of Juan Cordova for the next few days.
That should be easy enough.
Now, there is one snag. We must guard Cordova without him knowing a thing about it.
He refuses to accept a conventional bodyguard of any kind?
Then how can we help him, Mr. Weston?
You can help him, Joe. We've arranged with his wife that her cousin from London will join the Cordovas for a few days. And that long-lost cousin from England will be none other than Joe 90, our most special agent.
You can rely on me, Mr. Weston.
When do we leave?
1830 hours. Today.
Right, well, I'll make all the necessary travel arrangements. Do we have a suitable brain pattern?
Yes, A16, one of Wynn's top agents.
Your cousin from England, my dear.
Why? Cousin Joseph.
Hello, Dorina. How are you?
I don't understand.
How much I've grown?
Yes. How much you've grown.
Well, I'll leave you to it. You must have a lot to talk about, my dear.
Yes, of course.
I'll see you later, Joseph. We'll leave in an hour, my dear.
Leave us, please.
You can speak in front of this man.
Very well. There has been a terrible mistake. Who are you?
Joe 90, World Intelligence.
WIN sent you?
Yes.
But I expected an agent. Someone who could act as bodyguard for my husband.
That's right. I've been given the assignment.
But you are a boy. A 10-year-old boy.
9, actually. Bring my case, Mac. I think we'll go into the garden.
This is a school case. A ruler, pencils. I don't understand.
Allow me.
Are those things real?
Right hand first.
Fantastic!
Now the left.
Although I do not pretend to understand how a young boy can shoot so well, I am beginning to see why WIN sent you here.
I think this should convince you, Senora. Karate is an art requiring concentration and timing, not strength.
Hiya! I have seen enough. I am convinced. My husband will be in good hands.
Thank you. All right, Mac. You and Sam follow in a helijet, but keep out of sight.
Well, Joe, what do you think of our country?
It's very hot, but it's fine.
It will be cooler at the resort in the mountains. Can you ski?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
Then I shall teach you.
That'll be great.
Don't get too close, Sam. We don't want the president to spot us.
Right, Mac.
Oh, he can sleep anywhere. His election campaign has worn him out.
What about the driver?
He does not hear nor speak. But he has been with us 2 years. He is loyal.
Great. Then you can tell me about the ski resort, and we can work out the best way to ensure the president's safety.
Well, the hotel was only built last spring. It is set high in the mountains, and there won't be many other guests at this time of the year. What's wrong?
I thought I saw something in those rocks. Maybe it was a reflection of the sun. Or a signal.
A signal?
Joe 90 to Sam Louver.
Loud and clear, Joe.
I could be wrong, Sam, but I thought I saw something in the rocks about a mile back. Is there anything behind us?
Can't see anything, Joe. Looks like a clear road.
Wait a minute. Look, Sam, that truck.
Got it, Mac. There's a truck about a mile behind you, Joe, moving pretty fast.
Anything ahead, Sam?
No. Hey, wait a minute. There's a roadblock. 2 more trucks a couple of miles ahead.
It's an ambush. We're trapped. We'll have to stop. Stop the car. Stop the car.
You will never succeed.
He can speak.
Viva General Valdez!
We're going to crash!
It's out of control.
Okay, I've got her.
Joe, the truck's closing in on you fast.
Okay, Sam. Take that helijet down and buzz them. There's enough dust around to force them off the road.
Okay, Joe.
think that's what's known as being blinded by science, Sam?
Oh, you're getting as bad as Shane Weston, Mac. Joe's taking a wide detour around that roadblock. The guys down there will have a long, hot wait.
How's the president?
Still sleeping.
Mr. President?
Joe? My dear, we here already?
You have been asleep.
Where's the driver?
He felt unwell. We dropped him off on the way.
I'm sorry to hear that. What else did I miss?
Nothing, dear.
Well, don't look so worried. I would have known if anything had happened. I'm a very light sleeper, you know. Shall we go in? The same again, Joe?
Could I have a lemonade this time?
The same for my wife and I, and a lemonade for my young guest.
Si, senor.
You shouldn't mix your drinks, my boy. It can be very dangerous. And what do you think of our mountains?
Great. They're so cool and refreshing after the city.
Ah, right on cue. Thank you. As they say in your country, Joe, cheers.
Mr. President!
What is wrong?
I'm sorry, Juan. I didn't want to spoil your evening. I'm afraid I have a terrible headache.
My dear, you should have told me. Let me take you to your room.
It must be the journey. I'm sorry.
Don't be silly. Oh, please excuse us, Joe.
The president seems to have left his drink. Why don't you have it?
I am not interested in the excuses for your failure. Cordova has been there 2 days now. Tomorrow he returns. You know what it means if he is allowed to start his investigation. I want him eliminated.
Preferably tonight.
Well, Joseph, I plan to spend my last day fishing. Will you join me?
I'm sorry, I can't. I said I would go up into the mountains with Senora Cordova.
Well, you should enjoy yourselves. Now, where's my fishing hat? Ah, I remember.
I'll get it for you.
Thank you. You know, there's nothing like an undisturbed night's sleep to make a man feel good.
Ah, there it is.
enough for your services. This time you must not fail. Attach the explosive device to the president's line. When he pulls it from the water, it will explode.
What about the boy?
I do not understand how a boy has managed to frustrate my plans. But if he tries to interfere again, do not hesitate. Eliminate him.
Well, today is their last chance to stop him.
There is no way anyone could approach the lake without us spotting them.
I know, but I'm sure they'll try.
Well, unless they've got a submarine.
Wait a minute. Not a submarine, but underwater suits. Come on.
Good luck, Joe.
Sam Luva, World Intelligence.
Where's Joe?
Somewhere out there. He's been underwater for nearly 20 minutes.
What? His air supply must be practically exhausted.
Oh, look, there he is.
When did you arrive, Professor McLean?
We just dropped in. We like to travel informally.
Well, it's not like London, Professor. But if it's peace and the rest you're after, this is the place.
How was the fishing, sir?
Not a thing all day. How did you get on, Joe?
Oh, we managed to find a little excitement. Just a little.
is a little more time.
Sorry, Harris.
Clayton, you can't do this. It's taken me 30 years.
Look, Harris, I haven't all day to listen to sob stories. You've no alternative. I have your signature on the dotted line.
But I expanded on your firm promise of work for my company.
A verbal promise. Grow up, Harris.
So that's the way things are. One day you'll realize that you just can't trample on people. You'll learn.
You know the way out. Goodbye, Harris.
Oh, it's you.
They're just going into the ballroom. Make sure no one disturbs them. Orders from Mr. Clayton.
Right, Molyneux. No one will get past me.
Molyneux! Sir! Don't shout, man. Try to remember you've left the army. We're going in, Molyneux. And bring my car to the front entrance in half an hour.
Yes, Mr. Clayton.
Clayton?
What are you doing in here, boy?
I didn't feel well, sir. I just came in here to sit down for a minute.
I see. You'd better wait in the anteroom.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's get down to business. Now, you'll see from the figures on page 3 that the present market price is 23 and 8. Within a week, I estimate this will have dropped to 11 and 4. Buying through the 7 listed companies under our control, we should be able to gain a majority holding for £127,000. The yield should be something approaching 40%.
Then, when the shares fall to rock bottom, they step in and buy them up. There could be up to 30 different companies involved, and the original outlay may be as high as £3 million. But the return should be around 40% for a few days' work.
Well, while you're wearing those glasses, Joe, you're the expert, so I suppose you understand it all. But to a layman, it sounds like out-and-out fraud.
Legalized fraud, Mac. They sail close to the wind, but it's all legal, I'm afraid.
The authorities can't touch him.
You mean to tell me Clayton can get away with it?
Mac, he's done it before.
And as far as I can see, he'll do it again.
One of the companies he has on the hook this time is Leto Machine Tools.
Leto Tools? That's owned by a guy called Harris. He manufactures specialized components of national importance. Even WIN use him on special occasions.
That's right, Sam. It's just another reason why Clayton must be stopped.
If he's inside the law, how do we do that?
Well, I think I've got it. This is a unique situation, and we'll have to resort to unorthodox methods. But maybe the joke will be on Clayton. Here's how we do it.
Come in. Who are you?
Professor McLean, BSc, PhD, Fellow of the Royal Institute. I'm the new tea-boy.
I wish I could have seen his face, Dad.
Well, it was quite amusing. I waited till he'd finished his tea, and then I told him. Very casually, I said, "By the way, Mr. Clayton, the tea you have just drunk contained a drug, perfectly harmless, physically, but it will induce hallucinations until an antidote is administered."
Did he believe you?
Of course not. He was absolutely furious. I then said, unless he called off his next fraudulent takeover and paid back all the people he'd cheated in the past, the drug would be allowed to take effect.
What happened then, Dad?
He had me thrown out by the commissioner.
I told you, Chief, no one would fall for something like this, a non-existent drug. Clayton's an intelligent man.
You wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't. But Clayton's so full of deception, he'll convince himself it's true. With a little help from Joe 90.
Look at the time. Off you go, Joe. You've got to be up early tomorrow. That's when the fun will begin.
Oh, can't I stay up a little longer, Dad?
I told Clayton we'd call on him every day until he changed his mind. Up to bed, Joe. That should have woken him up, Joe. Ah, yes, there he is.
What's the meaning of this? Are you completely mad?
We'd like to talk to you.
Clear off before I call the police.
I think a little of the trumpet voluntary, Joe.
My pleasure.
Stop it! This is a respectable area. Stop it, I say. It's 6 a.m.
Round one to us, I think, Joe. Try a little blues. Good morning, Mr. Clayton.
Are you raving mad?
We came to see if you've changed your mind.
Wait a minute. Aren't you the boy who was in the ballroom? It's you playing the trumpet.
It sure is. You dig?
If anything like this happens again, I will have no hesitation in putting the whole matter in the hands of the police. And if you take my advice, you'll go and see a psychiatrist.
Crazy.
See you down there, Mr. Clayton.
Get off my property before I have you thrown off.
See you down there.
He threatened to tell the police.
All taken care of, Mac. I asked the local police to cooperate.
What did you tell them, Mr. Weston?
The truth, Joe. WIN are investigating Clayton. The police have had their eye on him for some time. They agreed immediately.
Well, we'd better get back to the cottage. I want to check a couple of things on the big rat, ready for your brain transfer tonight, Joe.
And I think I'll go over to Clayton Enterprises and get in on the fun. See you down there.
Is that clearly understood, Molyneux?
You want 5-foot gates fitted to your drive with electronic locks operated from the house.
Right. And I want it done today.
Yes, sir. Is there, any particular reason?
Don't ask questions, man. I don't care what it costs. Make sure it's done. Who is it?
Weston, CNC, World Intelligence, London.
Mr. Weston, from World Intelligence? I don't understand.
I'm the new T-boy.
Get out. Get out! You too, Molyneux!
See you down there, Clayton.
Put on the power pack, Joe.
Yes, Dad.
Now, the doorbell. Let's see. I think if I just connect the tape recorder here and cut off the chimes. That should do it.
What's happening?
It's working even better than I anticipated.
Okay, Mac. I'll go and see how strong his nerves are.
You!
Hello, Clayton. Interesting chimes you have there.
That car. How did you drive it past the gates?
Car? What car?
Clear off, you lunatic! Who's that? Who is it? Who's there? No.
See you down there, Mr. Clayton.
No, I don't believe it.
All this happened last night.
That's right.
And you say the boy then flew out the window?
Yes, the same one who played the trumpet. What do you look at me like that for?
Well, just how could he have flown out the window?
Well, don't you see? They're trying to make me think I'm seeing things. Come in.
The police, sir.
Ah, good. Now, they'll fix that boy and his lunatic father.
Well, we'll leave you to it.
But don't just stand there, Molyneux. Show the officer in.
Yes, sir.
Sam Louver, River Police. Do a lot of work underwater, undercover, under stones, underpaid. Understand you're in trouble.
I don't believe it.
Can I get you a drink of water, sir? You've gone all sort of green-like.
Listen. Well, there it is again.
No, sir. Sir, are you feeling all right?
Why, I never felt better in my life. You're fired. Fired, do you hear?
Joe. You now have the brain pattern of the world's leading mimic.
Shall I try it, Dad?
Yes, Joe.
I think...
I think you've done a marvelous job, Sam.
Hey, that was great. You've got Mac's voice exactly, Joe.
Wonderful. Now we can really work on Clayton. He won't know what day it is.
That's right.
Now we can really work on Clayton.
Is that you, Stuart?
Is that you, Stuart?
That's it, Joe. Clayton's voice exactly.
I've put the call through, Joe. It's ringing.
Is that you, Stuart? Come over to my home immediately. And listen, wear fancy dress. That's what I said, fancy dress. Don't argue, just do it. And tell Evans to do the same. Yes, it's a party. Stuart, if you two want to remain members of the board, you better get over here, fast.
Great, Joe. Just great.
Is this some sort of sick joke? What are you two trying to do?
Well, you called me on the telephone.
I know. I know what it is. You're in league with them, eh? Admit it. Come on. Who's behind all this?
I think we'd better leave.
Fancy dress. Trying to make me think I'm seeing things, eh? Hallucinations, eh? Who's that? If it's that lunatic professor and his boy...
It's the doctor. We phoned for a doctor. Go and let him in, Evans.
Who's sick? Who's sick, eh? You're not saying I'm sick.
Take it easy. I think you ought to sit down.
Sit down? I don't want to sit down.
What's going on? A fancy dress ball?
You? I checked on you. You are CNCWIN.
That's right. I'm in charge of WIN. How long has he been like this?
Since we arrived.
Stop whispering. In fact, get out. All of you.
I think we'd better make an appointment as early as possible. Say 6 a.m. tomorrow? See you down there.
Get out. Get out. Get out! Get out!
If this works, Mac, it'll be a clincher. He's near the breaking point.
It'll work, Sam. Shane Weston managed to drop the jammer in Clayton's lounge. Do we know if he's watching TV?
He's watching. The chief checked 10 minutes ago. Probably trying to relax.
Ready to start transmission in 30 seconds.
All ready this end, Professor. Ready, Joe?
Ready. This is
Ralph Clayton. This is Ralph Clayton.
The calm, scenic beauty of the English countryside. The river reaches through meadows thick with their carpet of buttercups and the wild foxglove.
"15 seconds.
One well may wander like a cloud o'er vales and hills in this blessed land.
We interrupt this program for a special telecast. Tonight, we are privileged to have Ralph Clayton of Clayton Enterprises in the studio.
No.
Ralph Clayton.
Good evening.
No.
Tonight I would like to tell you how to squeeze the small business into submission and still stay inside the law.
Yes, sir.
See you down there, Mr. Clayton.
Is there any...
Tonight I would like to tell you how to squeeze the
questions,
small
man.
business.
I don't care what it
costs.
Make sure it's done.
Weston,
Sam
CNC, World
Do a lot of work
Intelligence, London.
undercover, understood.
See you down there, Mr. Clayton.
Who are you?
Professor McLean,
Mr.
BSc,
Weston?
PhD, Fellow of the Royal Institute.
Weston, CNC, World Intelligence.
Do a lot of work underwater, undercover, understones, underpaid. Understand, you're in trouble.
Ralph Clayton.
Who are you? Good evening.
Professor McLean, BSc,
Tonight I would like to
PhD,
tell you how to squeeze
Fellow
the
of the
small
Royal
business
Institute.
into submission
I'm
and
William
still
Peabody.
stay inside the law.
Have you got the documents, Joe?
Yes, Dad. Everything's ready. Uncle Sam telephoned Clayton. He knows we're coming.
It's open. Come straight in.
Good morning, Mr. Clayton.
All right. The antidote. How much do you want for it?
Not a penny. Just a signature. My son Joe has the documents in question. I presume you have a pen.
But this is too much. It says here.
It says you will pay back all the money you have made by your smart tricks.
I won't do it.
I think you ought to, Mr. Clayton.
Molyneux.
See you down there, Clayton.
No. Wait. See me down where?
On your hands and knees, for all the little men you've crushed.
All right. I'm begging the antidote. Please.
Sign.
All right. I'll sign.
Ah, thank you. And now, I think one of these will cure all your hallucinations.
They look like jelly babies.
Yes, they do, don't they? That's it. Take one.
All signed and sealed, Dad.
Well, we'll be going. Remember, Clayton, mens sana in corpore sane.
What's that?
It means healthy mind, healthy body.
There was no drug, and there was a logical explanation for everything that happened. You think about it, Clayton.
Molyneux?
Is anything wrong, Mr. Clayton?
No, Jim. It's just good to see you back.
Well, thank you, sir.
I think we might think about a rise for you, Jim. Come and see me later.
Well, thank you, sir.
Ah, Stuart. How are we this morning?
Fine, as yet.
Don't look so worried. Have a jelly baby.
Jelly baby? They're for children, aren't they?
Yes, it took a young boy and a jelly baby. Come on, Stuart. We've got work to do. Honest work.
Dad! Hey, Dad!
Oh, hello, Joe. You're up bright and early.
Hello, Mrs. Harris. Where's Dad gone?
He had to go up to town. Said he'd be back late. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Are there any letters or anything for me today?
Letters? No. Now go and get dressed, Joe, and I'll get you breakfast.
All right, Mrs. Harris.
Wait a minute. I've just remembered. It's your birthday, Joe. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. And I haven't even got a card. I forgot all about it.
It's all right. Looks like everyone forgot.
Joe, can you come down a minute?
All right, Dad.
Come in, Joe.
Here he is. Surprise, surprise!
Dad! Uncle Sam! Mr. Weston! You didn't forget!
Happy birthday, Joe. Happy birthday. Well, Joe, you've reached double figures.
Yes, Dad.
10 years old. This past 12 months has gone so fast, and a lot has happened.
You can say that again, Chief.
This past 12 months has gone so fast, and...
no.
Okay, Chief.
We
get it.
Seriously, Joe, I'd like to say that WIN owe you an enormous debt of gratitude. You certainly have been our most special agent. Do you remember how it all started? I guess none of us will ever forget that day.
I'm confused. Will somebody please explain to me how this crazy scheme's supposed to work?
Okay, Professor. Let me describe what could be Joe's first assignment. File number 90. It contains what little information we have on the Russian MiG-242. This aircraft is the fastest and most heavily armed in the world today. We have nothing equal to it in the West. We have no weapons that can stop it. And so the Russians have the capability of striking and destroying us at any moment they choose. Now, question. How does your boy and the big rat help to maintain world peace? Answer. By capturing a MiG-242 and revealing its secrets to the West, thus restoring the balance of power. Now, this is how we would do it.
Gentlemen, today is the first time that foreign correspondents have been allowed to view the 242 at close quarters. As you know, the details of the 242 are a closely guarded secret. And since you are all experts on aviation, with one notable exception... Where is he? Professor McLean, where is your boy?
Sam Luther from Joe 90. Airborne. Over. Sam Luther from Joe 90.
Okay, Joe.
Loud and clear.
Sam, I'm approaching the Russian border. My instruments tell me that I've got 3 MiG-242s on my tail. They're about 200 miles behind me. So I'm going to turn and shoot it out with air-to-air missiles.
Stand by to fire missiles. 5 seconds.
Stop me now, Sam. They may try ground-to-air missiles. And that's just what they're doing, Sam. They're throwing everything they've got at me. I can't chance it. I'm going in to attack the base.
story. You made it sound so real, Mr. Weston. I don't mind telling you, I had my doubts about letting Joe work for World Intelligence.
You certainly did, Mac. I was still trying to convince you right up to Joe's first real assignment.
What was that, Uncle Sam?
Oh, don't tell me you've forgotten, Joe. Have another piece of cake and I'll remind you. Well, we're up against a ruthless and very efficient organization. The man at the top is Mario Coletti.
It seems to me, Sam, such a man must be stopped. But how do we do it?
Mario Coletti intends to hijack Tango 120, a truckload of automatic rifles of the latest design, in approximately 1 hour. I want Joe to be with that shipment to lead us to Coletti. The signal's stationary. The transporter must have stopped. They've been ambushed. Great. Joe will get a free ride right back to Coletti's hideout.
Intruder in Area 4.
Intruder in Area 4.
We've got him cornered.
Joe should have reported again by now, Sam.
Don't worry, Mac. With Ed Johnson's background knowledge, he'll be able to handle Coletti.
So, this is the intruder?
Yes, Mr. Coletti.
What's your name, boy?
Joe, sir.
Joe what?
Joe 90.
Ah, an unusual name. What are you doing here?
I'm an agent for the World Intelligence Network.
I see. That's very interesting. Gregson.
Yes, Mr. Coletti?
Take the boy home.
Come with me.
Mr. Coletti?
Yes?
Can I have my case?
Certainly, Joe 90.
All right, son. You're going home the same way you came.
I've forgotten my glasses.
You won't need them.
Joe 90 to base.
Are you all right, Joe?
They've caught me, Dad.
Where are you now?
I'm locked in the boot of a car.
Listen, Joe. Do you have your glasses?
No, but I know where they are.
Okay. You've got to get those glasses.
Joe, feel round the lock.
There's probably a slot with a hook in it.
Someone's coming. I can't say anymore.
I've got a message from Coletti. Dispose of the boy.
It'll be a pleasure.
Document 178, code and transfer immediately. The consignment ordered October 15th will be ready for shipment early next week and will consist of 1,200 Mark 17 automatic rifles and 350 Brenner submachine guns. The price is as agreed and must be paid in the gold 1 week prior to shipment. The actual details of the payment can be worked out later. I am leaving for Geneva tonight and expect to be there in 3 days.
Oh, we can't just sit here, Sam. Something's obviously wrong.
Oh, you're right. Let's go.
All right, Coletti, I'm coming to get you. You're the only one left, Coletti. It's just you and me.
All right, Joe 90. Come on. Come on!
Are you sure this is right, Sam?
Yeah, Joe said he was in an underground complex. There must be a hidden entrance someplace.
Come on out.
Over here, Coletti.
What was that?
Sounded like an explosion.
Over there.
That's it. Come on. That assignment really showed what an asset you could be to WIN, Joe.
Yes, it was exciting, all right, Uncle Sam.
Come on, Mac, your turn. Which assignment sticks in your memory?
Come on, Professor.
Well, I don't really know. There's been so many.
Oh, come on, Dad.
Well, Joe has flown jet planes at hypersonic speeds, but the one that I remember involved him in a much slower method of transport. In fact, trying to hurry could have led to disaster.
Keep up your speed, Johnson. You're falling behind.
Keep up your speed, Johnson. You'll kill us all.
Landslide, right.
Oh, my God.
You all right, Johnson?
Yes, but... Oh, that's it. I've had enough. This is as far as I go.
He's got a point, sir. That road's completely blocked. We'll never clear it.
We'll try another way, Sergeant, as soon as it's light. All right, Johnson, attach the second cable. The sergeant's next.
Right.
How's that cable, Johnson?
It's ready.
All right, Sergeant, bring her up and take it easy.
Yes, sir. The tree, look!
Get out of there, Sergeant!
Sarge, jump!
Get clear! The cable's going!
Sarge! Sarge!
Come on, Johnson. There's nothing we can do here.
Sam Lou to Joe 90. Can you hear me, Joe?
Yes, Sam.
Now listen, Joe. We've made an arrest.
It was Lieutenant Pierce at the base. He sabotaged the helijets.
He told us everything under interrogation. Those U-114 containers have been fixed.
The pressure drop at an altitude over 5,000 feet will detonate them in minutes.
I understand, Sam. Out. We've got to get this truck down below 5,000 feet. Hold on.
The vibration will detonate it.
The pressure will, if we don't get down. We're safe now.
Well, Joe, fill up your glass. I'd like to propose a toast. To the World Intelligence Network.
W-I-N. Gentlemen, I give you W-I-N's most special agent, Joe 90.
Joe
90.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Joe 90. Happy birthday to you.